There are moments in life when you feel like everything is falling apart. The day I walked into my apartment and saw that everything had been taken, his things, his clothes, his memories, I thought I had hit rock bottom. But then, there was the note. It was almost poetic in its simplicity. He said, "I'm so sorry for everything I've put you through. I'm not leaving because I don't love you. I'm leaving because it's just not working anymore. You deserve to be happy. I'm sorry I couldn't give that to you." I stared at that note for what felt like hours. Every word seemed like it was carved into my soul. But the truth hit me like a ton of bricks. The man I had loved for nearly 5 years wasn't just leaving me, he was already gone. And the worst part? He was leaving me for her. I had always suspected he was cheating on me, but without any proof, I never confronted him. After all, who wants to believe their partner is betraying them? So, I buried it deep inside, told myself I was just being paranoid. But then, 2 days later, I got the notification. A Facebook. There he was, all smiles, with some woman I'd never seen before. Her arms wrapped around him like they had been together forever. She was so comfortable in his presence, so familiar. Meanwhile, I had been sitting at home, waiting for him to come back, wondering when he would realize what he had. I should have been devastated. I should have cried. But instead, I felt rage. The kind of rage you feel when you've been lied to, when you realize the person you trusted has already replaced you with someone new. But I didn't let him know how I felt, not yet. I wasn't going to give him that satisfaction. And then, a week passed. I didn't hear from him, and I didn't really want to. But then, at 2 a.m., my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, but I picked it up anyway. It was him. Wasted. He slurred his words, crying about how much he missed me, how he regretted leaving me, how he was a fool. He said I was the best thing that ever happened to him and how he would do anything to get me back. I had heard it all before. The same drunken apology, the same promises. It was like a broken record playing over and over in my mind. But this time, it was different. This time, I had a plan. I agreed to meet him. I knew he would come crawling back, and I knew exactly what I was going to do. He arrived at my place, around 9 p.m., completely sloshed. He could barely stand, his new shiny car parked in front of my house. The audacity. The nerve of him. He came in, reeking of alcohol. His eyes were glassy, unfocused, but he tried to act like he was in control. He tried to make moves on me, acting like nothing had ever happened. But he didn't know I was already 3 steps ahead of him. Every time he tried to kiss me, I shut him down. And I kept the drinks coming, because the more he drank, the less he would remember. The more he drank, the sloppier he became. And when he finally passed out in my bed, it was time to execute phase 2. I wasn't just going to let him leave without paying for what he did to me. I wanted him to feel the same embarrassment, the same betrayal, that I had felt. So I did the unthinkable. I gave him a massive hickey right on his neck. Big enough that even the most clueless person would see it. I wanted it to be undeniable, something that would raise questions. Then, I snapped a picture of us together, him, passed out next to me in my bed. He wouldn't remember a thing, but the world would know exactly what happened. I grabbed my red lipstick and wrote a note. It read, "Sweet ride. Hope you don't mind, but we broke the back seat in for ya. P.S. You're welcome." Then, I sealed the note with a kiss mark and slipped it into the glove compartment of his car. The next morning, he woke up groggy and disoriented. I could tell he had no clue where he was, or what had happened the night before. But when he finally realized, panic set in. He started rambling about how he couldn't tell his new girlfriend, how she would never forgive him. And that's when I did it. I sent her the photo with the message, "Check your glove compartment." It was time for him to face the music. What happened next? Well, let's just say things didn't go well for him. He started calling me nonstop, leaving voicemails begging me to take the photo down, to delete it. But by then, I was already long gone. To respond to any of his calls. I knew what had happened. The girl he was so quick to replace me with, she saw the photo. And she wasn't happy. Not even close. The truth is, the story isn't just about revenge. It's about reclaiming my life, about standing up for myself and making sure that I never, ever let anyone treat me that way again. It's been years since that night. I've moved on, I've found someone who treats me with the respect I deserve. And now, when I look back, I realize I didn't just get revenge, I got my dignity back. And the best part? I learned how to take back control of my life. No more drunk dialers, no more toxic relationships. Only me. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my next video, it's going to be one you won't want to miss.